you bring Warren to have this Poggemeyer study implemented to some degree?
We paid, for you that, those that are not familiar with Poggemeyer Study, about 2 years ago, we paid $180,000 or so to have an outside firm come into the city of Warren and basically tell us how to correct the city. Very important study. Personally, I think we could have probably used the same people on this Poggemeyer study with Youngstown State, the Urban Development Department, Youngstown State, come up with the same plan, but that's just me. This plan has been sitting on the shelf for 2 years. See, I'm not a big meeting guy. I'm not going to have meetings just to have meetings that don't accomplish anything. You have meetings, and then you have accountability. You can't just meet to say, look, we met. We have a strategic planning committee. There's one aspect of Poggemeyer, it's called meds, medicine, and eds, education. There are some issues in Poggemeyer that really don't cost that much money, according to one of our councilmen at large. He said it in the paper. They don't cost money to implement. Well, why haven't we done them for 2 years? Why haven't we done it? Eds and meds is very important. Basically, what eds and meds mean, you're between Pittsburgh and Cleveland, 2 major medical centers. You've got brand new school buildings. You've got gems like the arts, like Packard Music Hall, like the amphitheater. You take advantage of your resources, natural and man-made. Again, some of the Poggemeyer study costs money. Some of the Poggemeyer study does not cost that much money. We should have had some of the Poggemeyer study implemented prior to today.
Great question. Thank you for asking. That study was commissioned in can everybody hear me? It was commissioned in 2008, but contrary to what I'm hearing, it has been implemented. I can cite specific points where it's been implemented. The brick walkways downtown, that's part of the Poggemeyer study. Acquiring of the Martin property, we're close to, I shouldn't even be saying that, but we're acquiring a lot of property downtown to control those properties so that they have the things that we want there and not a check cash. But that's, you control your destiny by acquiring property. We have 3 sites that we're going to acquire simply for that reason. That's part of the Poggemeyer study. The decorative lighting on Mahoning Avenue is part of the Poggemeyer study. Neighborhood groups, cleanups, and the entranceways. Those designs are already in place. That's part of the Poggemeyer study. Hasn't been sitting on a shelf. It took almost a year to do the study. We've been meeting, yes, we have been meeting, but we've also been implementing that study. This is not sitting on the shelf.
I'm going to go to the back. The gentleman had his hand up before.
What ideas do you fellows have regarding community development? And then what ideas do you have to run an efficient government?
We were challenged, when we lost nearly $6 million in over a 2-year period, we were challenged to be more efficient. And I'm proud of the fact that we did it without closing any parks. We did have to close some outside fire stations, but we're clawing our way back from that with the help of some grants. We had to reorganize our police department so that we can still provide those safety services. We're still getting your streets plowed, and we're doing it all with less people. There's 50 less employees than when we took office, so we're doing that. We have to be creative in how we solve those problems. Like in terms of community development and job creation, I think we said it before, we have to market our city better. We need to go out and be proactive, and I know what the question is, why hasn't that been done? Everybody's doing the same strategies. We need new strategies. We know what failure looks like. We need new strategies, a new marketing idea, and I think revamping the website is just one of them. We have to change the perception that Warren is not a friendly place to do business. That has to be changed. We are under the constrictions of the Uniform Building Code, the Ohio Building Code. So we need to at least approach our state legislators to relax some of those codes. All of those things would enhance our ability to create jobs and make our community a better place to live. Thank you for the question.
I just want to go back to the Poggemeyer study just for a quick second. I talked to some of the people that, in the strategic planning committee, went to some meetings. The biggest obstacle, they said, was the administration. Getting to the community development part of it. Back in 2006, because we've been in the red in the city since 2004. In 2006, Delphi shut down. We were in the black by $600,000. A red flag should have gone up. A red flag should have gone up, and we should have gotten busy back in 2006 when that red flag went up. Number one, stop spending. The very next year, we spent $1.8 million. The year after that, we spent another $1.8 million. The year after that, we spent $1.5 million. When that red flag went up, that's when we should have got busy and started reaching out to different areas of the country, because we've got natural resources here that areas like Arizona don't have, areas like California. We have water. Right now, our water treatment plant is closer to Cortland than it is the city of Warren. I don't know if anybody's been to Cortland, you can't even drink your coffee. The water's so bad. No offense, Linda. No offense. We have opportunities to expand some of our departments. We have opportunities to expand our tax base. We should have started back in 2006 when that red flag went up, when Delphi shut down. Now we have to get busier quicker because we don't have the time now. In today's world, we don't have the time. Come up.
Yeah. Alex Carolyn.
You keep mentioning Delphi. There's that beautiful building that is not that old, and they have been ordered to tear it down. Why have, on North River Road. I'm not talking about Dana, I'm talking about North River Road. Yet if you drive in the north end of town, especially down Overland, you'll see these buildings with the windows out of them and everything. They're still standing after I don't know how many years, but instead of being aggressively active into getting somebody to move into that Delphi plan, they tear it down, and it's got a parking lot, it's attached to the rest. Why would you be aggressive in trying to bring somebody into that?
Absolutely. You have a building out there that's relatively, it's not old,
No.
but it's not real new.
It's the newest part of that Delphi.
And again, for those who like gardens, no offense for my next statement, because I've got a beautiful garden in my house. But I would rather see cars in that parking lot than another garden in the city of Warren. Now, most of that plant belongs to Howland, but there is a part that belongs to the city of Warren. But that's another issue that we were talking about a little while ago with the jets. With the jets. Come on, get busy. Reach out and grab something. Even, you know, if you try 10 things and 3 of them work, you're batting 300. You know how many 300 hitters are in the Hall of Fame? A lot. But let's try. That's one of the big reasons I'm running for this job. We can't sit on our hands any longer. We have to be aggressive as a city. And if the city grows, the county seat, the whole county grows. No.
Okay,
Doug's next.
Okay.
Since you're close, I'm going to sit down. That's very important, because that plant, to me, is very usable. It's very usable. If you go in the plant, it's pristine. Unfortunately, it doesn't. The city of Warren doesn't own it, but MedVet and some of the other economic development corporations needs to be pressed to try to at least market that. The regional, they need to be pressed to try to market that asset in our community. If we can be successful at it, it'll benefit the whole valley.
Evelyn?